Hello, this is the Queer Sister podcast. I'm Jasmine Lowe, and I'm bisexual. My pronouns are she, her, and this is my
I'm
sister.
Natasha Lowe. I'm the younger sister. Pronouns is she, her, and I'm a lesbian.
Yay! So that's the queer part of Queer Sister podcast. Anyhow,
Okay.
all
All
right.
right. What are we talking about this episode, Jasmine?
We're talking about how did you first know you were gay? And that's the question.
Do you want to go first because you knew chronologically? Maybe for me? Took
Yes.
you a little longer.
Yes, it did. It did take you a little
have
longer.
more years than me, but go ahead. You can tell your story of how you knew you were gay.
Okay, I'll testify. So I actually thought I was a lesbian. Didn't know I was bisexual because I didn't know what that was.
That's more than me, so good for you.
Yeah. So I saw other girls, and I didn't I never dated anybody or anything like that. It wasn't until high school that I had first heard the term bisexual, and then I was like, somebody else was like, I don't think that's real. Like
But like,
it's a
okay,
choice.
as a child though, as a child, were you like seeing girls and like, oh, they're cute? Like, you said that you thought you were a lesbian. Like, how did you think you were a lesbian as a kid? You didn't just like, oh, I'm a lesbian, and like you realized in high, like, was there crushes on classmates?
There was no crushes on anybody.
In media? You were in dance, and you see little girls in dance. You were a child. I'm saying, how did you think you were a lesbian? When did you, like, what age did you think you were a lesbian?
It was before preteen age, or around that time, because I was not interested in anybody at all. Like,
Before preteen?
yeah, before preteen, like I was just worried about just riding my bike and just doing art and just doing random stuff. So
you were in puberty, and then you're like, I'm a
lesbian.
lesbian.
Yeah, I was like, oh no.
Was there a person? Because I feel like most queer people, there's like a person that, like, whether it's a friend, someone in media, a singer, or something that's like, oh, that's different.
That's different. Like that? There was somebody in my life that I was like,
oh,
it's
a secret.
I'm not gonna say that.
Like, you don't have to say names.
I'm not gonna say any names.
Like, class?
It wasn't in class.
I think I could do some dance.
Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything.
Well, you gotta say something now. I'm now interested. So it sounds like with someone that danced. Someone that danced. Let me go through the names.
Oh no.
I'm gonna do this anyways. They don't know about this. And if they do know, then they know that they helped you somehow with your sexuality. I think that's a good thing.
I guess
Shouldn't be embarrassed of that.
I guess so, yeah.
You don't gotta say names, but go ahead. So is somebody a thing? Y'all were close. I want to know more. You're just making it. You're trying to rush through it.
Because the second that I start, listing anything, they're gonna.
I won't say anything. But just say, like, you guys interacted. Like, what was that thought in your head? Was there like an aha moment of like, oh, I'm not straight, I'm a lesbian? Like, that's what I'm trying to get to.
Because everybody was like so in your face, like die hard, like, oh my gosh, like I really want a boyfriend, this and that, all these boys are cute, and I was like, oh man, like that's not me, like none of these guys are really doing it. And I was, at the time there was, a couple girls out there that I was like, okay, like.
If y'all don't know me, I'm really trying to think of somebody in my head. I think I have a few names.
I already know you know.
I'll ask you after.
Okay.
I don't already know.
You already know.
No, I don't.
I think you do.
I don't. But go ahead. So there was a few girls that were like, wait.
Oh gosh.
This ain't the same.
It ain't the same. Yeah.
Or were you thinking like the way that those girls in, elementary, junior high were thinking like, oh, this boy's cute. I want to kiss him. I want to hold, like those type of thoughts. You were having those thoughts about girls.
No, I was actually, I wasn't really like interested in doing anything with anybody really. I was, I don't want to like claim asexual or anything like that, but it wasn't until.
I think remember we talked about it. We thought we thought that you were demisexual.
Yeah.
And for people who don't know what demisexual is, it's more like you have to kind of get to know the person. It's not just like, oh, I need to know the person to like have sex. It's not like that, but it's like, I mean, it's more than that, than just like, oh, that's what everybody thinks. But it's like, you, to even be interested in someone like romantically, you would have to kind of get to know them and know their personality and know their brain beforehand. And I think that you showed signs of that early on. So
yeah,
it's like maybe signs of demisexual feelings.
Yeah. So yeah, no, that makes sense. That like that was more what it was.
So it wasn't until
we
were
like
hey,
for sure, like for bisexual, it wasn't until I went to college and I was like, okay, like again, there was another person. And we're not saying any names, and I was like, yeah, for sure, this definitely not straight, you know, so yeah. And I think at that time I'd already had a boyfriend, and I was like, okay, like they're not that bad.
You're like, okay, so you wait, so because I made you skip. So you said in high school, you're like, well,
I first heard the word bisexual, realized I did skip, yeah. So, because I didn't know what bisexual was, I was like, you have to choose or something. Mind you, went to Catholic school, like, didn't know a thing, and hardly, like, paid attention to the TV, so I just had no clue. But, yeah, so I was like, okay, if it sounds like I might be into girls and guys, it means that I probably have to choose one. So it was like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. There was a boy.
I'm sorry, there's no insult. Let me not do that.
Yeah.
But really though? No, okay.
There's a boy or two boys. I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, maybe I'm straight. I don't know. Like that makes sense. If we have to choose.
Puberty could do that to you.
Puberty does that, yeah. And it wasn't until like towards the end of high school that I ever heard the term. Took that on with me to college. I was like, okay, it makes sense. Both.
Bisexual.
There you go.
So then you're like college age. How old were you around the time?
Like for sure by 19, I was like fully like, you know, knew the queer community. I was like, you know, out doing stuff or whatever. But like, yeah, well, I went to college late 17, so like I was already like, okay, girl, you're not straight.
We thought she was grown. She had little grown friends. She was grown. When she went off to school and couldn't tell her nothing. So yeah, I guess that makes sense, and you know, I think that's why it's funny when people like, you know, you came from more of a conservative town. Why both you and your sister, you go to college, and all of a sudden y'all different people, but it just was exposing to different people. And I think it was a big part of us like changing not personalities, but like kind of the way we think was because we were discovering this thing about ourselves, our sexuality, that kind of made us not rethink, but you know, like kind of rethink how we view things. And so for me, it was a lot different because my issue, I had a lot of, like, I don't even know if it's like internalized homophobia, because like I didn't hate myself because I didn't even know I was gay. So it's like I can't even say that, but it was, you know, compulsory. Let me try to say this: compulsory heterosexuality.
Yeah.
Where it's like heterosexuality is the default, and there's nothing else. So in your brain, there's nothing else to even think, discuss, or whatever. There's just everything around you is straight. Like, so you don't know anything different. It's not that I didn't know. As a kid, I don't think I knew any gay people, but like I've heard of gay people. I watched lots of stuff where there was gay people on shows. Like I watched Degrassi that had gay people in there. So it's not like I wasn't exposed to that, but it was like more of a they thing than a me thing.
Yeah.
I really separated it, and that could just be subconsciously, where it's like, oh yeah, Marco on Degrassi's gay, but like I think mostly for me too, growing up, there was more gay guy representation than gay girl, and so it just like, it's not that I didn't think that I could be gay, but it was just like the gay girl representation was like a white middle-aged bowl cut like lesbian. That's not me, you know what I mean? Like,
sure,
so
yeah.
there was was just such a big distance between me and that identity. So I never even questioned to be like, oh, am I gay? Like, no, like that was never in my vocabulary. Like, not my, yeah, but I guess, you know. And I guess I was a little internalized homophobia. I don't know. Like I said little things, and because that's just how I grew up, and I never like thought it was negative, and definitely learned that that's not me. And so it took me a lot longer than I feel like most people, because some people are like, well, when did you know? And like, why didn't you know? Like, you're dumb. Why didn't you know as a child, like, you were gay? And I was like, well, there's just a lot of stuff. Like, it's okay if you don't know at 7, but there's some kids who know at 3. They know at preschool, like, I like this person. But I wasn't that way because I never even questioned anything about my identity. So it wasn't really until college for me, because I really thought I was straight. You know, I liked the men in the shows, but I just didn't like them the same way as my friends, and I didn't know until college, where they're like, oh, he can get it, oh, this and this, and I was like, yeah, and I was like, I didn't really quite grasp what get it was. I wasn't ready for that in high school, but I was like, you know, I like Smallville and you know, this character and this character and stuff, so I thought that, you know, like, okay, so one show, and I will talk about this another time, but like South of Nowhere was one show, and I was like, oh yeah, of course, I'm straight, I like the boy. No.
Yeah.
You know? But anyway, so it wasn't until I went to college, I took like women's studies classes, I got onto Tumblr, and I heard different, you know, identities, and me and Jasmine, remember when we took the Kinsey scale test?
Oh yeah, that's how you figured it out.
That was the moment where I realized I wasn't straight. I didn't know until I was 19 years old. We took the Kinsey scale test, and if you don't know, the Kinsey scale tells you like how, like, this on a spectrum of gay to straight. I took the test, and I didn't even make it on the spectrum. And I said, I broke the test.
And then I remember looking, I was like, wait a minute.
I was like, I didn't even make it on. I'm like, I'm not even gay or straight. I'm not even on the spectrum. What's going on? So I read it, and it says, you're asexual. And I said, what? What is this? So I did this whole, you know, deep dive of asexual YouTube videos, and now they go by Ash Mardell and Hardell. They were like doing all these videos talking about different sexualities and spectrums and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, I'm asexual. Yeah, I don't want to have sex with a guy. Like, that's like, of course, that makes sense. Why did I know that? Like, I thought that not that I wanted to, but it just was like, oh yeah, you like guys, so that's what you want to do. And I was like, no, I don't want to have sex with a guy. And I'm like, I could never see myself having sex with a girl. Like, of course I'm asexual. And that's because that's how I answered it. And it took me about 2 years, from 19 to 21, to realize, girl, you ain't asexual. You ain't asexual. I started writing a book about asexual. Like, I was really, like, in it. Like, and it wasn't until there was this Tumblr post from this lesbian YouTuber that I followed that said, somebody asked her, an anonymous message asked her, can an asexual identify as a lesbian? Like, if they were asexual but homo-romantic, that they want to end up with a girl but maybe not necessarily want to have sex. She's like, yeah, that's a lesbian. You just don't want, your sex drive is not up, but you still want to be with a woman. And I was like, yeah, maybe because I thought it was I forget what the word is. I can't remember. But like, where maybe two asexual people get together, but they want like a relationship in the sense of a romantic relationship and not a sexual relationship. Yeah. I was like, oh, I could definitely do that. So it was a progression of that to then, oh, maybe I could be a lesbian in the sense that I don't want to have sex with anybody, but I want to be romantic with a girl. And I was like, because I could see myself romantic with the girl and maybe end up with a girl and definitely not a guy. So maybe that's, you know, and so it was like progression of this, and then I was like, then I like just thought one day, I was in the shower one day, and I was like, I feel like that's when all your thoughts come to you. And I was like, if there was a girl, like, this is like personal, but I was like, if there was a girl in the world that I would like have sex with, and like it wouldn't be like, oh, I'm just doing this for her, like I would actually like want to do it, who, like, would there be somebody?
Yeah.
And it was Shay Mitchell from Pretty Little Liars, Emily from Pretty Little Liars. And I was like, I don't like to say Emily from Pretty Little Liars.
No,
but
it was Shay Mitchell.
But Shay Mitchell, and if you guys seen her face, yeah, I remember in my first year of college, this guy was like, they were like talking about who's celebrity crushes, and he said Shay Mitchell, and I was like, yes. I remember saying that. Yeah, a good one.
Should have known then.
I thought like Shay Mitchell would be one person that I was like, oh, like it wouldn't repulse me. I wouldn't think it's like a chore. It's not like me just doing it. And I was like, girl, like let's reevaluate because ridiculous. Maybe I'm not. And like I went down a list of things and I was like, girl, you ain't asexual. Like, and it like made me feel like, oh no, I just like needed to use not like it like asexual wasn't a identity for me because it was identity for me for 2 years, but it was something I needed to do to get away from the idea of being with a man. Like because I had so much compulsory heterosexuality in my head where it's the only option for me was to be straight, that asexuality like helped me like say like no, guys are nowhere in the cards for me. Like we need to throw that away to even get to lesbian. But at the time I couldn't even say lesbian because that's still like a hard thing to say, you know, because I don't really say it often. Even I remember saying it right now. I was like, I don't say it out loud. But you know, I say I'm gay or I'm queer, whatever. So it took me a while to get to that. But you know, then that's how I found out like, oh, girl, you a lesbian.
Well, and I think that's the reason why I like using the word queer because it's an umbrella term. You know, it's comfortable for everybody. So if you know you did find another,
not all people are.
Yeah, not all people like the word or comfortable with it, but it is an umbrella term that you know I use. Yeah, it includes everybody, and like you know, even when you know trying to figure out a name for this podcast, like I didn't want to call it the Gay Bi podcast. You know, I liked you know the Queer Sister podcast because it just talks about everything queer that's you know in relation to us. So I like it. That's what I use.
It's definitely an umbrella term that invites not just sexualities but genders into the mix as well. That you can be trans, you can be non-binary, intersex, anything that you are is not quote unquote the heterosexual norm fits in that queer umbrella. And I think it's so great that it's so inclusive and that I know nothing personally, identity-wise with transgender people, but that they're in my community, and I know that I will look out for them and they'll look out for me, and I think that that's like beautiful that we have that term to include everyone. I'm all about inclusive, you know. No turfs.
Yes.
We all include everyone that is, well, just anybody, you know. If you're straight, I hope that you can listen to this podcast. I mean, if you got this far, but listen to this podcast and continue. Because you might not know maybe the things that we went through personally, but you went through something that I didn't go through, and you can learn and grow, and that's how you learn about other people and hearing people's stories. And I'm sure there's something that what we said you can identify with, even if you're not gay or queer or whatever, that resonates with you. And I just hope that there's an inclusivity in all of that.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to get like.
No, that's cool. Well, it's like
that's what I was feeling right then.
I dug it.
It wasn't funny at all, but you know.
It doesn't always have to be laugh. Sometimes we can learn a little something.
I'm the laughter. I'm the comic relief.
Speaking of laughter, hold on. I really got to do this. Can you?
That's what I wanted you to do.
Can you see it?
I was about to tell you to do that. We are twins. Really, what does it say? Can you read it to them?
I don't know if you can see it, but it says, "Don't worry about the album." And
who is that, y'all? Who said don't worry about the album? Y'all, I did a drawing. This is the drawing I did. If you guys are just listening to it, I don't know if you're just listening to it. But if you're watching this, I drew that portrait that girl on Twitter did of Rihanna. and it says, "Don't worry about Cal." So just know when it's not in screen that it's there.
That's there. It's there in the background, just looming, just watching me. I really want to take it down because every time I pass by this place, like it's like staring at me.
Honestly, what's some of my best work? I like that it's I like that it's kind of still in and out. You don't have to. You can fit in that. But anyways.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's all I really had to say about how I do. I was gay or queer. That was my story. It was a long, about 21 years, and still, me at 25, almost 26 next week.
Oh my goodness.
Shoot,
I gotta buy you something.
It was a long journey.
Yeah.
It took a little longer, and it's normal to be a little longer because our like queer puberty is usually in our 20s or our late teens or 20s.
Yeah.
You know, so it's everything set back. So it takes a little bit longer, but we got there.
Yeah. All right. On that note, we're gonna, I don't know, wrap it up somehow.
Thanks for listening to the Queer Sister Podcast. I'm Natasha.
And I'm Jasmine.
See you next time.
You just keep watching if you like it. I don't know.
Thanks. We'll listen to the next one.
Yeah. Listen to the next one. All right. Bye. All right. I don't know. How did I say I was gonna intro this thing?
We never came up with anything.
Okay. So let me.
You don't have a sound.
I made an intro and an outro. I'll send it to you. I don't like it.
Okay. All right.
Anywho.